What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zamboni. I am an herbalist and astrologer. I'm coming to you from mid-Missouri, and it is time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody who sends me a tip via Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saving this post, sending it to your friends, liking, following. Thank you for all of these things. I really appreciate all of y'all for being here with me. Please also don't forget to go to the alchemist.com. Also, anything in store online, you can use the discount code ZamboniFunk for 10% off. Thank you so much for being here. Let's talk about the astrology of the week ahead. So, this week, there's the continuing drama of stuff in Leo versus Saturn in Aquarius. This is now the good news here is that this exact aspect has happened in two cases already. We've already had Mars opposite Saturn. We've already had Venus opposite Saturn. That happened already. And last week I was talking about the sort of like denial or negation of some kind of desire, right? And so this week, Venus and Mars are actually going to conjoin in Leo. So they've passed the opposition to Saturn. They've passed the square to Uranus. And so some of the more volatile or difficult or unpredictable, changing kind of stuff, and especially with the pressure, Saturn in Aquarius, or Saturn always is going to give some kind of like feeling of heavy weight or pressure. And then, with the Mars there and with the Uranus, there might be pressure to do something or pressure to figure something out or something like this, right? So then with Venus and Mars conjoining together, this is super dynamic. This is really people who have Mars Venus in their natal charts a lot of times will have some kind of like magnetism about them, something about them that's very exciting and attractive to other people. The Mars really wants to push and really is hot and it wants to hot in all the ways, right? And it wants to like get things moving, and the Venus is very attractive and very sort of beautiful and charming and these kinds of things. And so to put these together, especially in a fire sign like Leo, is very there's a spark here for sure. And there's something really exciting here. In the fire sign, something is really exciting that really, this to me feels like a response to the negation in some kind of way. And in the fire sign, in Leo, Venus and Mars together, it feels a little bit like Super Saiyan a little bit, like, you know what I mean? Like this sort of like taking some kind of fiery energy and like charging it up inside your own self. Leo is very sort of, it cares very much about one's own heart, right? Leo is ruled by the sun, and is very, Leo is famously sort of self-centered or attention-seeking or something like this, right? And this is what all the like sort of astro memes have to say about Leo. Leo is much deeper than this, but Leo certainly has a lot to do with the way that one feels in one's own self and heart. And to put Venus and Mars together in this space, to generate some kind of like self-empowerment is what this really feels like. And it feels like self-empowerment as a result of the negation that Saturn has provided, as a result of overcoming whatever kind of shakeups that Uranus has been sort of bringing through. I've been thinking about this a lot, and just and the endurance factor here. All of this is happening in fixed signs, right? And so fixed signs have a lot to say about endurance and longevity and that sort of thing. But seeing both of the malefics here speaks to the challenge that makes stamina happen, right? If you are going to be, if you're an endurance athlete, for example, then you have to go through a bunch of difficult shit so that your body will be strong enough to endure the amount of difficult shit that you put it through, right? This is that kind of dynamic. This is what's going on all summer, basically, throughout much of 2021 as well. In a broad scale, we've got this difficult stuff happening in the fixed signs. This speaks to endurance. And so the Mars Venus this week making a conjunction. The moon's going to come through, and light that up as well. When the moon comes through, it's going to light that up. In addition to the T square with Saturn and Uranus, we're going to see all of this working together, and how the self-empowerment piece sort of takes us to the endurance that oneself can have in the face of difficulty, which is especially good, I think. This is a great time to go into the hyperbolic time chamber if we're going to continue with the Dragon Ball Z references for no damn reason. Then this is a good time to put in the training to go through the difficult things. If there are difficult things happening, then now is a good time to engage that. Look it right in the eye. You know what I mean? This is very much a sort of like, here I am, and not only do I have to deal with the problems, but the problem has to deal with me too. So I'm looking forward to the Mars-Venus aspect here. I like a nice Mars-Venus conjunction. It's hot, it's sexy, it's dynamic, it's there's a lot of energy here. And so if you're ready to like put the work in or get a workout in or something like this is going to be a great time for this. This is not all that's happening this week. Furthermore, there are a couple of other things that have been going on here. We've seen, so before stuff moved into Leo, then it had to go through the end of Cancer. And at the end of Cancer, then it was going to oppose Pluto in Capricorn. This is where the sun is this week. So the sun is at the end of Cancer. It's going to oppose Pluto. This is not one of our major happenings necessarily, except that toward the end of the year, we're going to have a Venus retrograde in Capricorn, and it's going to be closely conjunct. The station is going to be closely conjunct that Pluto in Capricorn. And so whatever has been happening, we had that Venus in Cancer opposite to Pluto in Capricorn. That was maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at this point. And we had Mars also, so that was in that was middle of June. We're talking about June 12th-ish. Mars was opposite to Pluto in Capricorn, and then we had the Venus one a week after that, and then now we're seeing the Sun one here. So we might see a repetition of theme of some sort, and we might have something might be sort of like brewing here that we're gonna see really wanting to kind of come to fruition, or that we're really going to have to see some kind of primary engagement with that once Venus goes retrograde in Capricorn. So this is end of the year. We're talking about I think this is like December 27th or something like this, late in the year. You know what I mean? We've still got a half a year in between now and then. But whatever happens with the Sun in Cancer this week, opposite to Pluto in Capricorn, we might see some, this might resonate with whatever happens in December. So pay a little attention, especially if you've got stuff in late Capricorn, if you've got maybe the ascendant-descendant axis in Cancer Capricorn, maybe you've got the midheaven in Cancer and or Capricorn in late Capricorn or something like this, right? If this is you, then pay attention to all this stuff, and you might see some stuff happening, we might see some seeds being planted here, which sort of come around later on in the year. And so I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. The other thing that's going to be happening this week is Mercury is going to be moving into Cancer. So Mercury is going to be moving into the same whole sign opposition with Pluto, and then in a couple of weeks is going to make this same degree-based opposition to Pluto. So we're seeing Mercury move into this kind of situation and get rolled into this story of Cancer and Capricorn. So the Cancer-Capricorn story has been sort of ongoing for a little while, in the way that time is ongoing, right? But we've been doing serious Cancer-Capricorn stuff since maybe 2017 or so. That's when Saturn moved in, and then we had the nodes in there. We had a bunch of eclipses and stuff. So this has been a story that has been playing for a while. And then now that Saturn has left and the nodes have left, then the only thing that's really happening in there is Pluto. And so we're going to see the Pluto stuff showing up here, the sort of obsession, or we might see some kind of, things looking a little bit more exciting than they need to. The mountains out of molehills kind of situation. We might see all that sort of stuff going on here. One quick note about Mercury moving into Cancer. So that's going to be Mercury moving out of Gemini and into Cancer. So Mercury rules Gemini and Mercury does not rule Cancer. So typically the way that I've delineated this in the past has been like, oh, okay, well, we're going to lose some of the fun Mercury stuff. And we liked Mercury in Gemini, but now we're going to have to go into Mercury in a water sign. This is a little bit mute. It's a little bit, has a little trouble, with the communications and this kind of thing. Personally, this year, I feel like Gemini season was rough. Maybe that was just me, I got Gemini in the 12th, so maybe that was like a just me kind of thing. But we had a Mercury retrograde, which was square to Neptune in Pisces, hella confusing. At the same time, we had some solar eclipses. We had a solar eclipse in Gemini. We had a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. That was like on this Gemini-Sagittarius axis. A bunch of stuff was just like kind of flying out around. To me, it seemed pretty brutal. It was a rough time. I had a rough time myself. And I heard about others having a fairly rough time as well. And so to my mind, Mercury moving out of Gemini is a dignity change, which is not as much fun. But man, kind of good riddance to Gemini 2021. I'm just ready to move on. You know what I mean? Mercury in Cancer is not, the strongest Mercury that we have, but it might be a good time to sort of look into emotions and sensitivities and things that may have come up during the Mercury retrograde, during the sort of like Gemini shenanigans period. Some stuff might have come up, and Mercury in Cancer isn't super good for, being, for the prosaic expression, right? It's not, Mercury in Cancer is not what I would elect for, delivering a lecture or something like that, right? But Mercury in Cancer is really good for looking into one's emotions, looking into one's own self-care and what's been going on and how have I been feeling and how does my feeling, there might be something here about like, how does my body feel and how does that relate to how my mind feels? I've heard about people doing different bodily exercises to put their mind in a better order. You can stand in the mirror and be like, yes, I did it for a minute and a half or whatever, right? And that can sort of change your psychology or change your attitude. And this might be a good time to spend with how your mind and your attitude are flowing into your body, or how your body is flowing into your mind. With the Cancer stuff, we're going to be looking at caretaking and nurturing and these kinds of things. And this is a really important thing to do in a restorative kind of way after so many shenanigans have been taking place, especially since we're still looking at this Saturn in Aquarius versus everything in Leo and Uranus in Taurus. This is still taking a lot of effort and taking a lot of energy. So how can you sort of communicate with your own self and figure out what's going on and how you feel? I worked in acupuncture and Chinese medicine for a long time, and one of my teachers and a great herbalist and a great acupuncturist in general told me, listen to your body. Again and again, she would say that. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. Mercury in Cancer is going to be really good for listening to your body. So I'm pretty into it. It's not like great Mercury in dignity or anything like that. But given what we have here in this historical moment, I think that it's going to be a really good time and a really good way for people to engage with themselves and work on that endurance factor. So, one foot in front of the other, keep on pushing, and you got this. I know you do. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate y'all for being here, for making it to the end. Please send me a tip if you have it. If you got $3, I super appreciate it. Those go so far, and you really make it possible for everybody. I really appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate you for being here. Just thank you for watching. Thank you for, sending me a little comment. Let me know what's going on with you. How have the Gemini shenanigans been for you? I'm really interested in that sort of thing. We've got a whole little community going on here. Thank you for being a part of it. I really appreciate you. I look forward to seeing y'all next week.